Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a what's for dinner. I only have two recipes in this week's what's for dinner, and one is a regular in our house that we eat often and love. It is a crowd pleaser for sure, and then the other recipe is not so much of a frequent guest in our house for dinner, but we love it when we do have time to make it. So the first recipe up is for vegetable soup. We really like this recipe. It's super simple and easy and quick. It's pretty much a dump and go recipe. I make it on the stove a lot, but if I don't want to kind of babysit it all day, I do throw it in the crock pot and just let it cook all day. So this is a really good dump and go meal. All I'm putting in my crock pot is the tomato juice. I'm adding some bone broth in there, along with some salt and pepper, a few bay leaves, some bouillon cubes, parsley, celery flakes, thyme, some corn, and some water. And then we're going to chop everything else up that's going to go in here in just a second. And although this recipe is super simple, it does take a little bit of time because you have so much chopping to do with the carrots and potatoes and onions and everything, especially if you're chopping it by hand. If you have like a little dicer, that can really speed up the process. And the only thing that we're not going to just throw in the crock pot is the onions. I'm going to saute them first in some butter before we put them in with everything else. And now that we have everything in here, we're just going to dump these onions in here, mix it up really good, and then put the lid on it. Let it cook for about 4 hours on high, and then most of the time I'll check it, make sure the potatoes are cooked, and if not, I'll just put the lid back on it and let it cook for another 30 minutes to an hour until those potatoes are tender. Another thing to make like prep and clean up easier is to have like a trash bowl. And then when you're done with this, you can just toss it in the trash and it's all done, instead of having making trips back and forth to the trash can. And this is the finished product. It is so easy and simple to make, and our whole family loves it. We usually eat it with grilled cheese, or we'll just eat it plain. Sometimes I'll make cornbread muffins and have that with it, but it is a meal entirely on its own. So I hope you guys like this one and give it a try and let me know how your family likes it. So on to the next one. It is a Chinese takeout night. Tonight we're making some orange chicken, fried rice, and crab ragoons. Okay, so this is 1 block of cream cheese. I just set it out and let it come almost to room temperature. And then this is 6 sticks of just the imitation crab. It's all we have left, and I just want to use it before it expires. And then a kitchen like tip, hack, I don't know if you guys already do it, you might. Kitchen shears are like the best thing ever. They are so much easier to use than like cutting everything up with a knife. They work so much faster. You don't have to get a cutting board out. I don't know. They became like one of my favorite kitchen gadgets, and I never used to use them at all. Like, we always had kitchen shears and like our little knife blocks, and I always was like, who in the world uses scissors in the kitchen? Now I'm the person that uses scissors in the kitchen on everything. Anything that I can cut with scissors, it's getting cut with scissors. We're putting in some minced onions in here, and then some onion powder. Probably about like a teaspoon of each, maybe a little bit more, give or take, whether you like them or not. Probably a little extra garlic powder. I usually do fresh garlic, but I didn't really want to mince it today. And then that was probably a tad bit too much sriracha for me, because I don't like very spicy things. So I'm going to take a little bit of it out.
Big baby.
Our sriracha bottle, like, you never know how fast it's going to come out. This is Worcestershire sauce, however you say it. And then we're going to put some soy sauce in here. And then a tad bit of pepper. You're going to get mostly salt, like your salt obviously from the soy sauce, so it doesn't need, I'm not going to put any extra salt in here. Then you're just going to mix this up really well, trying to keep it in the bowl. And then I usually either try or smell it to see if it needs anything else. So if it doesn't smell very garlicky, I'll add more garlic to it. If I can't smell the onion powder, usually add more onion powder to it. So I'm going to mix this up real well, and then we're going to assemble our wontons, or ragoons. So for our fried rice, we're going to start off with a couple tablespoons of butter, getting it really nice and melted, and then we're going to put in a day or two old rice. It needs to be like a day old and have set in the refrigerator, or the texture doesn't turn out exactly right. But we're going to dump that all in there, get it pretty level so it can kind of trap that steam in it. And we're just using this orange chicken from Sam's Club. It is really, really good and super simple to make. I think you get, I want to think it's 2 or 3 bags of the orange chicken. So you get chicken, it's already made, and the sauce packet of the orange sauce. And we just throw it in the air fryer, cook it, put in a skillet, pour the orange sauce over it and heat it up until it gets warm, and then it's ready to eat. So this is super good, pretty cheap. You get 2 bags for I think $9 or $8. So I would recommend this if you like orange chicken. And as always, I'll leave a more detailed recipe down in the description box for you guys to follow if you want to try this out. Okay, so I've got 4 eggs in here. I'm going to put it in the rice. Help get us some protein. I just kind of scramble them before I put them in. And then I'll mix them while they're cooking in here, and then slowly mix them in with the rice. Okay, so here I am finishing up those crab ragoons. We do a few that are in an egg roll form so we can get more filling in them. And after I got done making all the crab ragoons, I actually wanted to try some guacamole egg rolls. I see them all the time through the Cheesecake Factory, but I've never got them. They sounded really good this night, so I thought I would take my shot at making some super simple ones. So here I am just mixing that up. I added some onion powder, garlic powder, red pepper flakes, and salt and pepper to this. And then I just put a tiny bit in these little egg roll wrappers and folded them up like little mini egg rolls. Okay, so these are little crab ragoons and egg rolls. These are all crab ragoon egg rolls. These are the little bitty ones are all avocado, and then those are crab ragoons too. They're just different shapes. So I'm heating up my oil real quick, and while that's heating up, I'm going to put up all of my spices. So since our orange chicken and our rice can kind of stay in the pan and keep warm, I wait until the very last minute to start cooking our ragoons so they're nice and hot while we're eating. But these just take a couple minutes. Sometimes I'll flip them over to kind of get both sides if they're floating up too high. But you just keep them in that oil until they're very lightly brown, and then they continue to cook once you take them out of the oil. So if you wait until you think they're done, most of the time they'll get a little bit too dark. And after cooking all of these, here is the final product. This is such a good at-home Chinese night, and we absolutely loved it. And I want to thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today and watching my video. I hope you guys give these 2 meal ideas a shot and let me know how you like them. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and join my YouTube family here. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and a comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.